If you enjoy this type of pattern, please tap that thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Do you have pattern tutorial ideas? I'm all ears. At yarnspirations.com you can review the free pattern. Scroll down and see the rating and reviews from others. Read the pattern yourself. Better yet, share your tips or advice by leaving a meaningful comment, as it helps others. I actually use those comments myself when I'm struggling to understand the pattern. Share some advice on things that you've learned in the pattern, or even just leave a nice note of appreciation. Welcome back to the Crochet Credits, my friends over at yarnspirations.com. Today is the Crochet Mesh Soap Saver bag. So it's just for holding your soap, maybe for traveling and etc. Maybe gift giving as well. So it's using this Lily Sugar and Cream scrub off yarn. It's a mix of different kinds of yarn in here, and you will see that it will look like this. So for tutorial reasons I cannot use that because you're not gonna be able to see my stitch work. So I'm just gonna use regular Lily Sugar and Cream. You can also use your Bernat Handicrafter yarn. You're going to want to use 100% cotton for this. Anytime you want to get a project wet, that is the right material to use. It's cotton, and we're gonna work our way through this and get ourselves to make this soap saver next. So you'll use a 5mm size H crochet hook to play. There is a diagram on page number 2. There's also a schematic on how this is going to work. We're just gonna make a one-piece unit, and then we're just gonna fold it, and then you can do the flap. I'm not gonna demonstrate on how to sew on a button, but I will show you how to make the latch to do that, so that you can do that if you wish, and then you'll have a handle. So you're gonna get started with the foundation row as we begin, and then we officially start row number 1 after that's established in, and that's where our journey is going to take us today. So without further ado, let's start the foundation row as we begin. So let's begin by doing a chain of 16. If you would like to change the sides of this, you can do multiples of 2 plus 2. So multiples of 2 chain plus 2, and you'll do it relatively loosely in order to make it work. So I'm just gonna follow the pattern. So please chain 16. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and go all the way to 16 for me, and meet me back here in a moment. So you'll feel like the chain is pretty long. It's going to compress itself as we start this pattern. So the foundation row has us doing 5th chain from the hook. So just count it back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and that's where you're going to place in your first double crochet. The 5th chain from the hook. Do the back hump of the chain. It will look nicer. And then you're going to come back and you're going to go to the chain right before it. I always like to go from behind, but if you'd like to go from the front side of it, it's up to you on what you like to prefer to do. So just going, and I just go in behind it, and I'm just grabbing the chain before that one that I just placed in, and I'm double crocheting there as well. So this is a crisscross stitch that's happening here. So now we're going to start our pattern going all the way across. So you'll skip the next chain out, and you'll double crochet the second one away, and then you'll come back and you'll capture the stitch that you skipped. And again, I like to go from the back side. Here's the thing, people like say they prefer the front. If you're gonna do the front, just be consistent about it. It should work. Well, there's no reason why it wouldn't. Just be consistent. Just don't keep changing your mind on that to keep the work looking good. So you're just gonna crisscross yourself all the way across this. So you skip the next chain, double crochet the next one after it, and then come to the one you skipped. So I need you to do that all the way across, and I'll see you at the end of the row in just a moment. So I'm coming all the way across. I just did my last crisscross, and I am going to double crochet in the very last chain that's available to you. If you count it on the diagram plus in your hands, you will see a total, let me just turn and work, and you're going to see a total of 6 crisscrosses, and you'll have the equivalent of double crochets that are on the edges. So let's officially now start row number 1. So row number 1 and 2 are going to be the repeat pattern until you get to 10 inches long. To do row number 1, you're going to chain up 1, and you're just going to apply 1 single crochet in each one of the stitches all the way across. This helps stabilize the crisscrosses, and it looks really amazing once it's done. So please just single crochet yourself across for row number 1. As you come all the way across, don't forget this chain here is a stitch, so just go right into that very last chain just like that, and you should be good to go. So you're gonna turn your work, and let's do row number 2, which will be the final of the repeat. To start row number 2, you're going to chain 3. That'll count as your first double crochet, and then starting in the next 2 stitches here, that is your next crisscross. So you skip the first one, double crochet the next, and then come into the one you skipped. Again, be consistent on how you're doing your crisscross. Once you get that one done, skip the next one, double crochet the next, and come into the one you skipped. So you're just crisscrossing yourself all the way across, and I'll take you to the end of the row in just a moment. So please continue, and I'll be right back in a moment. So I'm coming to the end of the row, and in the very last stitch it's just going to be one double crochet straight on down. Okay, that was row number 2. So you're gonna turn your work and repeat rows number 1 through and 2 over and over until you get to 10 inches long. So just chain up 1 and apply 1 single crochet in each for row number 1 again, and then row number 2 is crisscross. And I need you to keep doing this, and I need you to finish on a crisscross row. Okay, so please go continue to make this until it's 10 inches long, and I'll be right back in a moment. So now I have the pattern complete up until 10 inches, and I'm ending on the crisscross row. That's the end of the 10 inches. So now we're going to begin, and if you look at the pattern really carefully, you will see that there is a loop that is right here, and that's what we're going to apply next. So let's do that next, and this is starting right where we are, so don't fasten off, and we're just gonna create that loop and then continue the pattern until 11.5 inches. Let's do that. Okay, let's create that little hangy ropey thingy, and that's my technical language today, and you're going to chain 10. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and 10. And now you want to come back to the pattern and do it as you normally would do it. So just I would single crochet in the very first one just to kind of make that loop really stable. It's more stable than your host today. And so I want you to single crochet yourself all the way across. You're just repeating the pattern as you know it. The only difference now is that you've created that loop so that it becomes a little dangly holdy thing for the future. So now I want you to go back and forth just like you know it. So the next row will be crisscross, and then the row after that is single crochet, and I need you to do that until you are ending on the first row, which will be a single crochet row at the 11.5 inches mark, and that's where I'm gonna pick you up as we do the final row across. So let's do that, and I'll see you back here in a moment. So I'm just finishing up my last row. It's going to be single crochets across, and then we're gonna have the final row, and the final row is going to give us the little latchy thing. I'm so technical today. It's gonna give you the latchy thing that you can sew on a button to secure it if you wish. I keep thinking of summer camp when it comes to something like this. You know, you want to take your soap with you, unless they provide it for you, of course. And so you're gonna come all the way across, and your single crochet, I've already measured, so your single crochet will be the ending of the 11.5 inches approximately. So you're gonna turn your work, and we're now going to create that little loopy thing that goes in, and let's do that next. So we're now going to just slip stitch starting at the very first one, and we're gonna slip stitch the first 7. So we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7. That's approximately halfway, and then I need you to chain a total of 5. So 1 2 3 4 5. There's your loopy thingy, and starting in the very next stitch I need you to slip stitch the remaining of the stitches that are left. So we're now going to secure in the loose ends that you have, and so we'll be doing that next. Okay, so just finish this yarn off, and let's show you how to weave in your ends. To weave in your ends, just keep a mental note of this, and remember that the single crochet side is, when you did single crochets, it's considered the wrong side. So just kind of look at your work and see when you did the single crochets. I can tell the right side and the wrong side for this. So what I want to do is that I want to favor the wrong side of the project, but if you don't, sure, just guess, and you know, don't tell anybody you did. I think some people are so hung up on instructions. Sometimes they can't be creative because they just want to match everything, but sometimes you gotta fake it or make it, and you can leave me a comment if you fake it or make it here in the video if you get this far in the tutorial. Most of the videos are only watched for the first 4 minutes just to give you an idea, and then they fast forward to where they need to go. Now you're gonna have the tail on the other side, and you want to get rid of that tail too. And now it states that we want to sew things together. I don't got time for sewing. It probably will look better, but I'm going to show you how to slip stitch it together. You know, because people like to cheat the system when they can, and it'll create a different look, but it's good enough for me. So if you prefer to sew, that's up to you, and that's your business, and nobody should be judging you based on your execution on what you want to do. So once you have this all woven in, we want to prepare the project to be done. So let's do that. So what I want to do is that I want to fold out the project. Do you see where this is? And this here is going to like this. So you're just gonna fold it up. Okay, up until that dangly thingy. Okay. And then this will be the flap to come over. So once you get that flap and set, you can just sew on a button and then you can put that through if you wish. So what I'm recommending to you is that you can sew it if you want to. I love sewing. No, I don't mind sewing. Sometimes you can just cheat it. So once you have it folded, what I would recommend is put it onto the hook, the yarn, and I want you just to single crochet yourself across, going through both of the thicknesses to bring it together. So just make it evenly spaced and it will look pretty good, right? And you're just matching the two thicknesses together to bring them together permanently. And then when you get to the top, what we have to do is fasten off, and then we have to do the other side. But you have to be very careful on how you do the other side, because you're single crocheting here, you want to make sure that you're using the proper side of the work. And we'll talk about that in a moment. So I'll be right back. So I'm just getting the last piece here at the top, and I'm just going to go in and I want to secure in the ends. So I already showed you how to weave in the ends back and forth. So what we have to do is you have to think about what you're going to do with the other side. The problem is that you have to make sure that the right side faces out. So this is the right side. So you can't just go like this and go across. You're going to have to start directly across to just fold it, make sure it's still folding, and attach it at here, and then work your way back down to this folding area. And that'll keep the right side of the stitches facing forward, which will look more consistent. So once you get that done, just match it and then do what I just showed you of just bring them together with a single crochet and go all the way to the base and then secure in your loose ends. So you want to do that on this side as well and make it work. Make it work. And securing both sides, and I will be back and I'll have that done for you in just a moment. So now I've just secured in my ends. The right side is facing up because I did it perfectly and it looks awesome. So what you want to do is that you want to fold this over and see where you want to place that button. So the button will go approximately here, and then you can sew that and put the button through that little hole. Okay, and therefore everything's good. So I'm gonna leave that in your hands if you need to see a tutorial. I'm sure there's one on Facebook to be able to sew in your buttons if you wish. And you know, sometimes people would want to leave that off and just fold it over and throw it into their suitcase. The nice thing about this is that because it is meshy, it'll allow the soap to dry, because if it never dries then it's gonna be molding out for you. Because this is 100% cotton, you can just toss it in the washing machine and dryer and be good to go, or you can rinse it under a tap and let air dry as well. So here's the Mesh Soap Saver bag, and it's really neat, and now you can just slam in your soap and enjoy your vacation or wherever you find yourself using this. And again, it's a great craftware idea as well. Have a good day, and we hope to see you again real soon. Bye bye.